Hey everybody, this is Dream, and today I'm going to be reviewing Ultra Goodness 2. Ultra Goodness 2 is developed by Razul Mano and published by Radalaka. Uh, just as a quick note, this is available on Xbox for $4.99. Currently it's on sale for $3.99, so you might be able to pick it up for that. And it's also a very quick completion for achievements, so it'll take you under an hour. It took me about 35 minutes. Some people it'll take a little bit longer, some people take a little less. Actually, took a little longer, possibly myself, because uh, of being kind of confused early on. But regardless, that's what you need to know. Anyway, for the game, you basically play as this character, and you have to run around the map shooting enemies and clearing each area. So basically, once you clear one area, every enemy, then you can exit and then go to the next area. Each area is a little bit different, but they're all kind of similar in aspects, and they do expand the enemies as you progress through the game. However, it is pretty much the same thing each level. The game is also pretty short, at least from an achievement perspective. It is. It's just not very. It's not a very in-depth game. It's basically just point and shoot. Your weapons are relatively limited as well. However, you do have the ability to upgrade and get a little character that runs around with you, which will speed up your process. I actually didn't figure that out until really late in the game, so unfortunately I didn't utilize that very much. You can, however, do that a lot earlier once you pick up enough of the little things on the ground that you get when you kill enemies. You can trade those for upgrades. The graphics in the game are not too terrible. I didn't, they're cartoony, and it fits for what the game is and what it's trying to do. Um, but it's all pretty simple, standard stuff. Like, there's nothing here that's gonna be overtly exciting or unique or unusual that you haven't seen before. All the enemies, while there are lots of different types of enemies and different things on the field, it's not, there's nothing that you haven't seen in other games. But overall, it's not a bad shoot 'em up type of game. The audio on it is pretty generic as well, in my opinion. It's just kind of standard hit audio and things of that nature, so there's not a whole lot new there that you haven't seen before, or heard, I should say. As for the difficulty of the game, it's relatively easy once you kind of figure out what you're doing. Early on, I died a bunch because I was just like basically not being able to avoid a couple enemies or not really understanding how their mechanics were working. But once I played it some and got used to what was happening, it became super easy to like run through each level. The levels are a little confusing too in the way they're laid out, but not so bad that you're not gonna be able to figure it out. It's like I said, it's gonna take you under less than an hour to complete the game, so it's very simple. It's just once you run, maybe like what I started doing is when I started each new level, I would just kind of run around and try to get a feel of where I needed to go in the level, and then I went and start and let myself die, and then go back and actually take out all the enemies. Because a couple of levels you do have to go in a specific area, which you can only get from one place. But again, like each level, you have to kill all the enemies, so that doesn't really make that much difference. And once you get down to the last, to not having any enemies left, then the game actually does put an arrow on your map to tell you where to go. As for bugs and glitches, there really weren't any, other than maybe the hitboxes weren't perfect. Like, I would shoot, and sometimes I felt like the shots would go through enemies, and then it also wasn't real clear what shooting in each different type of thing that's on the field would actually do. And so, because there are different things on the fields, or if it's even possible to shoot those things. Like, there wasn't a lot of explanation, which is fine. But it was kind of like a trial and error, especially for power-ups, because there's a couple things in the game that sort of look like power-ups, but they're actually enemies on the field, or things that are stationary on the field. And so if you go to try to pick them up, then you take damage, and you're like, oh. So you kind of have to watch out for that. But that's, you know, they could have just showcased on the field that it was something to avoid, not something to, or something to shoot, and not something to power up. But they didn't do that. But that's okay. I mean, it's a small gripe. Anything that's stationary also isn't required to be killed to complete each level. But it definitely helps to just get them out of the way, because they can be a pain in your ass when you're running back and forth around the game. Like I said at the beginning, the achievements are very straightforward, and it's an easy completion. It's gonna take you less than an hour, and so it's not gonna be a difficult game for many people. Like I said, it took me a little time to get used to, but it still took me 30 something minutes to complete. So overall, I'm gonna give the game a 6.5 out of 10. Nothing in this game is unique or to anything I've seen before, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of redundant to what I've seen before. The only difference is really the graphic ideas, but again, those are things you've seen in other games as well. So there wasn't a whole lot here to be too excited about, aside from the achievements, which are easy, and for $4 or $5, depending on when you buy it. That's not a bad price if you want to get a fast 1,000, or if you need it for a gamer score competition or something of that nature, or to keep staying at the top of the Ratalaika leaderboards. It's definitely gonna make it easy for that perspective. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the game. If you have anything to add, or you have anything else, please feel free to comment, and thanks for liking and subscribing. And if you're not subscribed, please consider it, because we make lots of videos, and we actually put out 2 videos a day, and so we're trying to build a community here. And also check out our Discord, which is linked in the description, and you can get opportunity to win a lot of games through the Discord, as well as being subscribed here, because occasionally we do pick random people that are subscribed to us to get free copies of games. And so and commenting will definitely boost your chances of that, because a lot of times we just pick, like, if there's a game like this one, for instance, that I have a code for that I can give away, then I will pick a commenter at some point, potentially, to give away a copy to. And so it's definitely useful to subscribe and join our Discord if you have that, or even follow us on Twitter at InDepth Gaming _. So it's InDepth Gaming and then an underscore. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So I hope you enjoy this game, and if you pick it up, let us know, and have a nice day.